Can you do the Facebook thing?
Yep. Uh, there we go.
One thing I don't like about Google Forms is that there's an option to shorten the link. But like, why would I want a longer link? Like, why would I want
Mm,
it? Truly begs a question. Um,
Fine. This got to be a read.
Happy Friday, Sky and Daffody. Welcome to Friday. And while you're on Facebook, um can you pin the Facebook thing?
The comment, yeah, or the whatever. Um, I guess I can get it from YouTube, huh? Actually, can you drop the whatever link, restream,
Yeah, 1 second.
and then I can toss the form.
I already have the form in there. I should have pinned on Facebook.
Oh, got it. Okay,
Uh, Pin.
sorry.
Yeah,
Uh, this looks a little funky. No, it's good. There we go. I think they changed the way that pins look on Facebook. But- all right, and not Facebook.
alrighty then. Brag Bear in the chat. Ashley Park, the one and only Brag Bear. Welcome. The
Yeah,
inaugural Brag Bear.
will you catch me up to speed on this new, and anyone else who maybe wasn't a part of the live stream last week. So also, I don't have the chat link yet. Um,
I got
but yeah, catch me and maybe people who weren't here last week up to speed. What's going on with this new brag o'clock
you
system?
know, as most things do, starts with Jeffrey Deere. Um, Last week, uh, there was a bit of a miscommunication on who was posting Bragg O'Clock, between the both of us, and it never got posted.
Yeah,
And Jeff D, also known as Jeff Driving, was like, "I can't wait. I'm too excited. I'm just gonna post it." So Jeff took took control of Bragg O'Clock that day.
incredible.
And it had me thinking the brags are for the people, you know? And so why aren't the people the ones who are doing the brags? You see?
Yeah, why are we the ones posting the form?
Yeah, exactly.
It's true.
Uh,
I
and
like.
so we then decided that the person who wins brag o'clock, it makes the most sense for them to be the one who posts. Sorry, the person who wins Free Journal Friday is the one who becomes the poster of brag o'clock.
Bragmeister.
As like a um as a passing the torch type of energy. Um and yeah. And then we had to go through a naming process, which as you know, naming is it's a tumultuous process. I'm a little worried about our restream link right now because I tabbed over to YouTube and there was comments
On YouTube.
that were not on restream.
Yeah, I only have one comment on Restream that's populated.
Yeah. We also haven't got any new quotes. I mean, we haven't got any new comments on YouTube in a second. So yeah, go out there and comment for us because we need to make sure that we're still live for everybody. Um,
Uh,
hopefully our live stream can go down.
don't think so. It's still up on, well, hold
I
on.
know it still says we're live.
Still up on YouTube. Maybe people just aren't commenting.
Why would I want to log? But yeah, it's the chat is the lifeblood.
Okay,
Okay,
never
so we're
mind.
back. We got. Okay, okay, we're coming through.
We're good.
All
I have
right,
to put a comment in there
we're
for.
good.
Okay, we're
But yeah,
good.
do you feel caught up on the lore of the Brag Bear?
I yeah, I do. I do. Is this going to be sort of
The rule going forward. We should probably
Yeah,
get that flagging somewhere so people in school who maybe don't attend the live streams or have any idea what's going on, can participate.
yeah. Well, I mean, the most important thing is that Brag Clock is a pretty self-explanatory thing. And the most important thing is that we pin the Brag Clock post so that way everyone can see it.
Yeah.
It may come from somebody else, but it will still say Brag Clock on there. By the way, Ashley, fantastic work today in your Brag Clock post.
Yeah.
It included a GIF or a GIF, depending what part of the country you're from. And it just was like really well done. And so I want to give you that like as a inaugural brag bearer, you really set the bar high.
It's a very strong showing for the
Yeah,
for the brag bear.
very much so. Um,
Yeah, thank you for your post. It's fantastic work.
I
Uh,
like the like it almost feels like a Friends Romans Countrymen, lend me your ears. Adventurers, champions, and quiet conquerors of the week gather round. That is like, I'm sure that uh Bill Shakespeare is rolling in his grave. He's like, I wish I came up with that.
yeah. I think Bill Shakespeare would have a great time in the school group.
I think so too. And honestly, that's kind of what we do. We're like, I want to create a community that Bill Shakespeare himself would want to be a part of.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of our guiding light.
In so many words, I would agree with you. Hi, Mackenzie. Good to see you again. Also, hi, Lynn. Thank you for making it. It's midnight where you are. Um, okay. Yeah, now the comments are rolling through.
Yeah, there we go.
I heard you on YouTube, but couldn't comment on YouTube. Okay. Maybe YouTube was having a little hiccup. But I'm glad one of them was working, Facebook or YouTube.
Yeah, I last week was a very chat heavy week.
Yeah. Well, you did a solo live stream, right?
Yeah, the solo live stream is a very like it's almost like personal, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's just you and the people here. It's like, what are you gonna do? Sit here and talk to yourself?
True. Although you know me, I could definitely do that.
Yeah, yeah.
At the best.
Who do you think would last longer in solitary confinement, me or you?
You.
Because because I regularly involuntarily put myself in solitary confinement.
Yeah, honestly though, here's the thing. My problem with solitary confinement isn't that I'm alone. It's that there's nothing to do.
Mm,
I think that's my issue. Like I would like if someone gave me like a PS5 and a workout plan, I think I could handle it pretty well.
oh.
But it's the lack of thing, which is this is why it's punishment. Um it's not like meant to be a place that you thrive in. Um
Yeah.
yeah. But
I have thought about this a lot, and I think this is a bad idea. What I'm about to say to you, but I do want to hear your musings on it because I think that you'd have a funny thing to say about this. So, like, what if you started a business that was basically the constraints of going to jail, but it's like a personal retreat for people who need to lock in? You know, too distracted by their phones, too distracted by people in their life, you know, whatever it is. You basically check yourself in. You get like whatever, a few hours of, you know, time. You work for the retreat, you know, you work in the kitchen or you have a job essentially. Um, and then you spend the rest of the time working on whatever you are going there to work on. And it'd be like a no laptop workplace. You know, maybe you're writing a book, it's like, all right, typewriters only. Maybe it's just do you think like how bad I mean it's essentially a retreat, but here's the whole thing. You are locked up. Like you can't leave. I mean, you can leave if you really want to, but you essentially check yourself in, and we'll say
Yeah.
it's for like a week, maybe even a month. You can make new friends, you can focus on your goal, you disconnect for a little bit. You have a really, you know, set in stone like strict routine.
You know, I'm gonna say this. All you're doing is describing like the digital age version of rehab. That's all you're doing.
So yeah.
It's just like it's dopamine detox is what you're describing.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then you have like a goal. So I think that's great. I think that's very like I
Yeah.
mean you spent a week with the monks once,
A few times.
no
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah. It's it's great. I feel like that those should be something like that should be maybe more accessible. And I feel like because what I had in mind was a lot more like my retreat. I did a silent retreat with a bunch of at this monastery a few times with this group of monks in Washington. And yeah, like I could have brought my phone, but the whole point was like I was like, I don't want this distraction. So there just isn't a lot of that. It's hard to get that, you know? Anyway, I basically just pitched you a prison.
Yeah, I think that there is
It's I guess it is kind of rehab, but
I think that'd be an incredible um I think that'd be an incredible business model for like a getaway retreat for like
yeah.
you would do it for like industry specific experts and you would cycle them in and out. So it's like May we're doing a lock-in retreat for e-commerce experts. And so you get 10 e-commerce experts and you bring them to a place and the only people they can talk to is each other.
Mhm.
And then but they have to leave. They have to tell us what their goal is on the front end, and
Yeah.
they don't get to leave until they finish a version of what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Um, and like, but they get to like talk to other people, and I do think that if you were to turn this into a business, you would then have to like they would have to have a smaller job, and you would have to like handle the bigger jobs. Like I don't think you would like they wouldn't be in charge of all the meals, right? But maybe they're in charge of cleaning after the meals or something like that. I don't know, but
Yeah, I think, you know, especially if the retreat is geared for people that are doing, you know, for maybe like CEOs or like C-suite people that a lot of their job is thinking and making decisions, or maybe writers or something. I think it's good to give someone like some work to do with their hands that's just like not thinking, you know, they could fold laundry, they could, I don't know. And it's like kind of this communal thing, and you sort of share this focused, this like, you know, holy like space. And that's like your contribution to the group also. You're just like, all right, you know, hey, we all came here voluntarily, like for a reason. We're trying to keep it nice. And I'm a part of that. I don't know. That might be this is pretty extreme what I'm pitching you. I haven't thought it out very much, but
it actually it's pretty in line with one of my thoughts this week overall.
yeah.
Um, so Nick and I, if you guys don't know the jargon, I'll just tell you what the jargon means. Nick and I are direct to consumer e-commerce founders. That is our LinkedIn title.
Hmm.
Um, and one of the hard parts about our particular role is everyone who talks about like running an e-commerce business online is an agency owner. There are so few actual like
Yeah.
business owners talking about it and like communicating with each other. It's all people who have things to sell you on how to run a business the way that they think you should.
Yeah.
Um, or it's somebody like the owner of Ridge Wallet who does like $500 million in revenue a year. And it's like, I'm not like, we're not the same. Like, we're not like your advice and my advice are not the same. And there's like there's something great about like having a vision for the world, money aside, and just like seeing it through. And I think that more of those voices should come together and meet. So I think that this would be a really great place for people who are like you and I to go to, where we're like away from the agency owners, we're away from the people who are trying to shill a course. And it's just like, I
Yeah.
started this thing. It's been really hard. I don't know what to do. Um,
So
yeah,
it's a support group basically.
yeah. It's like it would be like if the if like the school community was full of people whose 100% of their jobs is to give out quests. You know, like it's like they're not actually they're not on quests themselves. They're kind of just like I
Yeah.
don't want the NPCs, but they're NPCs.
Oh, like people that work for agencies.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see what you mean. You want to be surrounded by people that are doing the actual work of, in the trenches, so to speak. Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's fair. I do. Um, well, hey, speaking of trenches, we have something really exciting actually to share with you guys today. This is groundbreaking. Now, if you're in the school group and you've been active, you've probably caught wind of this already. But I threw together a very crude kind of like prototype pitch for a free resource that we are creating. It is not just for people who have Heroes Journals, it's for people who maybe can't afford a Heroes Journal, or maybe starting a Heroes Journal feels a little intimidating. Um, it's also just going to be, we're going to probably market this and try to get some new faces and names in the brand, probably in the live stream, people that are sort of never heard about us. And so we are launching a free, um, we don't know how many days it's going to be yet. So I'm just going to say a free, indefinite, well, up to 30-day challenge. Is that fair? Up to 30-day challenge, called the Recession Quest. Kind of a punchy name. I know that's intentional. We're trying to get some eyeballs. And the goal is that, we kind of catch your eye with the name, with some of the artwork that Ryan is putting together, which is fantastic. You'll get a glimpse of that in a second. And a big part of the school group is I mean, you don't have to do it, but we're gonna be posting pretty much every day about our recession quest in the group, because the recession quest is an activity that is, we'll say, recession friendly, wallet friendly, um, in this time of that we're all sort of living through. It's a free resource. It's packed with some really good ideas for side quests from heroes in the school group. And right now we have three, and we're probably going to try and start them on Monday. And I want to show you guys what these pages look like. And Melissa, that is correct. This is basically Quarantine Quest 2.0. In fact, we use the same page layout. And it's going to be great. And you're right, Jeff. This obviously is it's a little political of a time, but our goal is to not be political. Our goal is actually to make something genuinely helpful and free. Um, I think that, you know, my dream scenario is that we sort of catch people's attention with like recession quests. Like that's kind of a crazy thing to say, some sort of artwork that's allegorical of the times that we live in, a little crazy. But it's really undergirded by like a really good challenge and a really good thing that's sort of like we're getting through this together. We're all on the same team, it's not like a political thing. It's not a have and have nots thing. It's basically just like we are all humans. We're all allies to each other. We're all heroes in our own story. And hopefully these challenges will, inspire you to be more heroic and also share in the school group, and have a little bit of digital community. And so we're going to try our best to be really diligent about the group. If things start to get political, we're going to squash it, because that's not what we want to do.
We're not trying to like take a strong stance on
Yeah,
policy.
there's enough of that in other corners of the internet.
I mean,
And
technically it is political, just in a multiverse. That's in the Historia multiverse. So
yeah,
uh, it's just the wrong politics.
yeah.
Kind of in a made up, kind of make believe kind of way.
So Jeff,
Ryan
I would
send you
ask. Oh, sorry, my bad.
did Ryan send you the pages?
I think you put them in Slack, right?
I didn't see them.
You forgot.
You might have put it in a.
Yeah, I don't see them either. Let's see, Google Drive maybe. In the Drive.
One of the reasons why Ryan's not here is because we're trying to get these ready for Monday, and so we figured it was probably a better use case for him to be able to work on those things. So he is.
Yeah, we saw him like about an hour ago for our design review meeting, and then we were like, "Oh, send this to us. We want to share it with the live stream." And he just he just forgot, probably because he went right back to work after the design review. So hopefully he sees the message and tosses them in here. But if not, you might just have to wait. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to bait.
Good things come to those who wait, though.
Yeah, that's true. It's fun. Anyway, I do want to make this call out. So as of now, this might not be how it is based on just Ryan's bandwidth. Like we're still trying to make this new journal. So Ryan, we don't want to stretch Ryan too thin. But as of now, one of the huge updates that is very different from Quarantine Quest is we have a new piece of art every day of this challenge from Ryan.
Wow.
So far.
We have three right now. We might reuse them depending on
like
the bandwidth.
For Quarantine Quest, like we literally had 4 for the whole month, and we already have 3 for the first 3 challenges. And so there might be some repeat days here and there, just because Ryan's human, and it is a lot of effort and creative energy to give to something that is is a free resource. And I think that in the long term, heroes, the heroes here, you guys can back this up if you agree. You probably prefer Ryan's effort, creative energy to go towards the new journal we're working on versus all of it going straight to Recession Quest. So,
yeah. Melissa said something, and Melissa, I don't know what day you joined Quarantine Quest, but technically Quarantine Quest did start on March 23rd. So,
yeah. This
now
one
granted, that had a little bit more of a obvious start involved. But yeah, our thing is just like, let's move quick. The world needs this. Let's just get it out to the world. Let's get it ready.
Exactly. So yeah, and also, yeah, 2 big things. So to answer you, Akira, the quest is actually just 30 or so individual side quests that are given out to you. One of the other big differences from Recession Quest versus Quarantine Quest, I believe Quarantine Quest was like dated. So we did it, on this. Everyone did the challenge on the same day. This one's going to be undated, so you can kind of go at your own pace. You can also join at the beginning of next month or in the middle of this month, whenever you want. You can take a weekend off, come back, whatever you want to do. And the way we're gonna facilitate that is most of these side quests are gonna have a component of like sharing, something in school. Maybe it's a picture of your favorite mug with your favorite drink in it. That is actually one of the challenges. Maybe it's a screenshot of how much money you saved by, ghost shopping or, building a whole cart on a website and then not checking out, and just in kind of getting that window shop high. Maybe it's your favorite struggle meal and you want to share it with the group, one of those cheap meals that you make during a recession. And to kind of feel like you're in the same boat with everyone else, you share it in the school group. So there's going to be a component of that, and the school group will have its own thread. It's called a thread, right?
Yeah.
It's called, yeah. It'll have its own thread, just called, Recession Quest, and it'll have each of the challenges posted in there. I believe me and Kyle are probably going to work on that probably on Monday, or maybe even today. But basically, yeah, so those will already be in there for you to hop in there and then throw in your picture or your comment. And so whether people start with us on Monday or maybe they start with us 2 weeks from now, that thread will still be live. Kind of like the group is now. People come in and they join and they comment on like the pinned stuff. So I don't know if that made sense. That was a bit of a word salad I just threw at you guys. But um,
This
yeah,
starts Monday, question mark. We're gonna try to, Nicholas.
we're gonna start doing the first three challenges on Monday. You're more than welcome to join us. Um, and all these, like, I'll tell you the Monday challenge is literally, it's called Stay at Home Barista. And instead of going and buying a coffee at a coffee shop, because it's a recession quest, we're gonna make our own coffee, tea, matcha, or just warm drink, whatever
Or
you
cold drink.
want. Any temperature drink you want, as long as and that's kind of part one. Maybe you're not a big coffee person, but this is why part two of this challenge exists. Uh, take a picture of your favorite mug. I think everyone has a favorite mug. Maybe it's funny, maybe it's one that's beautifully crafted, but it's one that you probably just always reach for. And so that one's kind of a fun one because it's like a bit of a mug fashion show. And everyone loves mugs and everyone loves showing off their favorite mug. So I expect a great showing on the first day of Recession Quest.
Yeah.
Maybe you can't do every single side quest. That's okay. But that one I know you guys could do. So at least show up for that one. Support the beginning of Recession Quest. I know that Kyle and I will be there strong. We're big mug guys too. Big coffee guys, big mug guys. We're gonna be right in there.
Yeah. My guess for next week, just because we only have 3 pages, is it's probably gonna go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Are gonna be the way we do it, just because we only have 3 of them done so far. That's my guess. So just if you're somebody who's anticipatory, if you're someone who's always just trying to be ready for when the moment strikes,
Mhm.
what you're going to want to do is wake up on Monday, go to school, and look at the fun little PDF that we have.
Yeah.
That being said, our goal is to obviously expand it out from there. Um, we're kind of, as the entrepreneurs say, building in public right now. And we're giving you kind of early access to it, which means it won't be as done as if you joined in maybe a month or 2 weeks or however long it takes for us to build the whole thing out. But that's kind of the idea.
I mean, this is how
Uh,
we did Quarantine Quest too. Like, I think we only had a week or two, maybe 1 week of Quarantine Quest done before, because we just weren't sure if people were gonna like it or how they were gonna take to it. And obviously, it was really well received, and it just was kind of like right place, right time. The world was in a weird place, and the whole reason we're doing this is it sort of feels like that pandemic vibe is kind of back in the air. A little bit of that, like, what's going to happen is sort of, I think, plaguing a lot of people right now. And so the whole point of Quarantine Quest is sort of the same point of Recession Quest, which is, helping you and heroes around you focus on controlling what they can control, doing some achievable, easy tasks that feel good, they feel frugal, they feel resourceful, and also just, knowing that there's people out there that are also going through the same experience that you are, and they're sort of making it through by doing these silly little challenges. And they are silly. It's not required. You don't have to do the challenges to be a part of Recession Quest. But you do have to be kind. You got to be supportive. Can't be, overly political, or cynical, or, bad energy. We're going to be policing the group for that. So watch out. But anyway, that is what we have planned.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's very art heavy, which is very much how we live our lives in this particular business.
Mm.
We love art. We love giving you guys kind of like masterful pieces of artwork, even if you don't want to fill in the pages. You can still just look at them and be like, "Wow, that's amazing."
I want to
That's
read.
enough of that.
Did you
You'll
Juanito?
know more on Monday.
Sorry.
Do you want, unless that's not enough of that, unless you have more
Oh,
things to say.
I'm changing the subject completely. Sorry. I keep stepping on your toes today. Um, I was gonna say Juanita Hall doesn't own a mug because Juanita Hall doesn't drink anything hot.
But Juanita Hall does have a favorite cup or tumbler, so therefore
I was gonna say
can be a part of it.
a
Uh,
mug is a cup with a handle. You know what I mean?
yeah.
All right.
Are you open to another name? 2025 quest? Question mark.
So the reason that we are wanting to do something that's has a little more teeth and I know that it's a little, it's a bit of a pointy name, is because this is, obviously this live stream is for our community, a lot of the folks in school or people that are in our Facebook group, whatever, watch these live streams. But we're going to be, running this as a free resource. We're going to be putting ad money behind this. And so strangers who may have heard the Heroes Journal, but never really checked us out, or people who maybe have never heard of us, we're trying to get their attention for the first time. And we're not trying to be rude or be, sensational just for the sake of being sensational. Our goal is to get attention with the name, with some of the art, and then hopefully if they click on it, their curiosity drives them. They download it, and just like anything else we make, they're deeply delighted and excited to sort of get started. And the hope is people kind of get hooked and they're like, what's this? They get delighted about it and they're like, oh, okay, I see, I see what they're doing, getting my attention, and then kind of like backing off. So anyway, I know that it's a little uncomfortable, and I am anticipating some inflammatory Facebook comments on the ad. So if you see the ad and you look at the comments, hey, help us out. Because I just know um, people are going to be, you know, chatty. And so, and honestly, I'm not going to say we love that, but that is part of what makes a ad campaign successful is buzz. And so the hope is we keep it positive and we let people sort of, if they want to make their face judgments about it, they can and they will. But hopefully for those who download it and participate, it's just like they love it. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, that does bring us to story o'clock. I mean, we're gonna get really far behind if we don't story o'clock it, and then we have brag o'clock, and then we have the wheel of choosing is what it's now called. Remember, it's called the wheel of choosing
Yeah.
because the person who the wheel chooses becomes next week's brag bearer,
Yeah.
not brag bear, as David uh, pointed out last week that it sounds like it's a bear, but it's bearer.
Mirror.
Bearer.
That's right. Guys, look, we're gonna try the Recession Quest name. If it flops, or even if it's just too inflammatory, it's a pretty easy change to just call it Resilience Quest. And so,
It's true.
but for now, that's what we're gonna aim for. And the reason is because we want to be timely about this. That's another reason that we're rolling it out like very fast. Is we just want to we want to hop on. I don't disagree. Resilience Quest is definitely a more positive name. It's
Yeah.
it's honestly probably even a more accurate name. Um, but we're putting on our marketing hats, and we might be totally wrong about this. You guys might be super right. And but remember, it's not about the name of the quest. It's about the quests we did along the way. Anyway,
I will say this. I will say this. Um, we are a very interesting company because I believe that our marketing language is typically the nicest you'll find on the internet. I think that we might be the most just like kind forward brand you'll ever meet. Um, and so one of the nice parts about having somewhat of an inflammatory name for something is that they're gonna come at us and they're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna go into this like ready to like throw punches, and then it's just gonna be like, post a picture
yeah,
of favorite mug. It's gonna
yeah,
be fun. People are gonna be happy about it. So it's a very it's definitely like a misdirection in a good way, I hope. But we're trying it. We're seeing if like kind of like tricking people into joining the kind side of the internet with language that they're kind of used to seeing might work. It may not. We may have to rebrand it to Resilience Quest. The heart behind it won't change. So that's the important thing is that we're always gonna be kind.
yeah.
Um, that's
That's
core value of ours.
yeah, and we did a similar thing with Quarantine Quest. I mean, back in what 2020, like in the early days of COVID, like saying quarantine was also it's kind of political. It was definitely eye-catching. That was like the word of the moment. And the word of the moment right now is recession. So we're gonna try it out. It could flop and then we'll pivot. And that's showbiz, baby. But anyway, Kyle, tell me about a story. Tell me about a story that you've been enjoying. And that goes for everyone else too in the comments. Let's move on to Story O'Clock. We are a story company. Obviously, our journals are all about narrative, all about the narrative you make for yourself while you are filling out journals. Um, but just like your food diet, translates into your energy and sort of, the skin and the body that you have. I believe your story diet plays a really crucial role in your ability to look at your own life as one where you are the hero, as one where your life is going in the right direction, where you're doing the right things. And so it's important, I think, to stop and sort of analyze the stories that we're intaking. So I want to hear what are we, what are we intaking as far as
Um,
what do you got, Kyle?
Casey and I started watching the Twilight series.
Oh,
I'd never seen it before.
the movies. Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen the Twilight movies?
No, I seen one of them. I randomly saw one in theaters. I think it was like part one of the last because they split the last one, right? How many movies are there? Is it four or
There's
five?
five.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So this is actually a really good kind of analogy for what success is. Because Jacob, do you remember Team Jacobs back in middle school and high school, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's so jacked, he's so hot, like he's so like." Jacob in 2025 body inflation is like a skinny loser. Like he compared to the bodies you see on Instagram and these fitness models, he
Yeah.
looks so lame.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and it's such a definition, it's such a like indicator of how like the goal line keeps getting pushed further and further back, and it's like harder and harder ideals to reach.
Mhm.
Um, because I was like, this is the guy everyone's worried about, like long neck skinny abs. But um it's like when you set your example to like compare to be better comparatively to other people, like you'll never ever get there. You'll never get there. It's all about like focusing on your goal line, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was wild to like the second he took his shirt off, I was like, this is the guy everyone like in middle school everyone was talking about.
The thing I like recognize from the Twilight movies is they're always like they're color graded very like like what am I trying to say here? You know what I mean? Like it's so moody and like tinted
Yeah,
almost.
it was. No, it's and don't even get me started about Edward. He's the most annoying person in the world. I do not like Edward.
Yeah, your
Like
team.
I'm Team Jacob through and through now, and I don't even think it's because Jacob's that great. I think it's just because Edward's annoying.
Wow, some hot takes. Some hot
Yeah.
takes here.
If
Uh,
anyone out there is Team Edward, I'm sorry, but he just is annoying.
Queen had a pithy little reflection on the true story in life. Watching the real life version of the Hunger Games between the people of Coachella, between the rich and the not so rich. A pithy social commentary from Queen. Jeff is listening to the mayor of Noobtown, which sounds like a lot of fun. Couple books in, and it's right at my speed. A bit of humor, snark, world building, imaginative, sympathetic, quite satisfying. It sounds a lot like Dungeon Crawler Carl,
Yeah.
which has been a Story O'Clock favorite for the
Yeah.
last live streams. Um, Melissa said, "Why can't I think of any stories?" Well, Melissa, think about stuff you've watched, podcasts you may have listened to. How about even just a story someone told you about, something that happened to them? Of course, books you're reading, movies that you saw, shows that you're watching or binging on streaming platforms or anything like that, you know?
Yeah. Does my stance about Jacob make the Heroes Journal Team Jacob?
I mean, I feel like I should have a say in this, but I need to do more research,
Yeah.
frankly.
Do you know where you stand?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm honestly team neither of them. It's like I'm like team like there's more fish in the sea. Is that how I would go about it? But like,
yeah, I'm more team just date a normal guy.
yeah,
You
you'd
know?
have to be a mythical creature.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your type? Mythical. cryptid creature. Nicholas is reading through Oathbringer, book 3 of the Stormlight Archive. It's a Sanderson book, and I mean, I hear that is the creme de la creme of fantasy books. I've yet to start. Nicholas, what is the best book in the Stormlight Archive? And how many are there? I think it's only 3. Maybe it's like 7. I don't know.
Wow. Heather's reading a book about cod and how that fish changed the world.
Really? That's
Yeah.
very interesting. That's like a Ryan book through and
Yeah.
through. Gosh.
My brain rot brain was like, oh, Call of Duty, like the game that like
Oh man, there's some marketing executive at Call of Duty is clicking his heels right now.
yeah, he goes, got him.
Adam. It could be her heels too. Who knows? I was gonna say Nova hopped in here and said Vampire Werewolf Journal. Um, hey, maybe. You know what's funny? There's a bit, not a lot. It's not quite like it was. There's been some, like there was that werewolf movie that came out recently this year. I forgot what it was called. Was it just called Wolfman? I think it's called Wolfman. There was Nosferatu, of course, at the end of last year. I mean, look, this vampire werewolf thing, we might have a resurgence. But you know what my favorite version of that story is? The Van Helsing version of that.
Mm.
I loved that movie as a kid so much. And it's one of the hardest parts about growing up is realizing that some of the movies that you loved are terrible. And that movie, it holds a special place in my heart. I just love that setting. I like the idea that this guy is just hunting down these mythical creatures. It's so cool to me. So that's how I would want to do it, Nova Pax. I'd want to do sort of a Van Helsing style, but that might be a little dark for, for
You know what I feel bad for with like classic stories is, I mean, like specifically movies, is like we're getting better at making movies so we can make more movies faster. And so all of these amazing movies that we grew up on have been riffed on to like no end. And so now we go back to watch the original source material and it's terrible because it's like it's been just ripped apart for like 10, 20 years.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like when I watch like Kill Bill, I've seen so many references to Kill Bill in other places that when I watch Kill Bill, I'm like, this is like satire. But no, it's the original thing that everyone was making fun of.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it makes the original thing worse.
Yeah, Supernatural, or do Supernatural so you can include a variety. Yeah, all those free IPs we could tap into. That'd be cool.
Yeah. You know what? You know what? I think we could just do a one-to-one rip off of and would never get sued. Animorphs. I don't think anyone's following the Animorph like IP. It might even be open source at this point.
They're like, please license this IP.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought Animorphs were so cool. I go to like the Scholastic Book Fair when I was in like kindergarten and first grade, and I was like, the humans become animals? That's the most incredible thing ever.
I will say, whoever they hired to do the concept and art direction for the covers of those books is a genius.
Yeah.
Like the idea that kids like you and I would go to their Scholastic Book Fair, probably they'd go in and they would see like, because you don't really care about the first stage, and you don't really care about the last stage, but the weird stages in the middle where they're like half horse, half person. Look at this.
Yeah.
Half cobra. Like that is so fascinating for a kid to look at. I mean, what are these? And they're
I will say these middle ones are like modern memes, dude. Like this one right
Yeah.
here is a modern meme.
they're like it's like uncanny valley kind of energy.
Yeah. I think that some of these are so funny. Like this guy's like a cobra and this guy's just a golden retriever. Like a nice looking golden retriever. Like just like a casual.
That one's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That they did that guy dirty. Turn into a roach. That's
Dude, this is so far
not-
garbage.
She looks like a cone. She's like a Conehead character. That's wild. That is crazy. Um, whoa.
Did this person turn from
Oh, you know what? I actually did a deep dive on this not terribly long ago. The like lore for Animorphs goes super deep and it gets really weird. The horse one is crazy.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like it someone like the right like they went off their rails. It's like this alien species like is giving people the power to turn to animals and like they can turn to this crazy like it gets so far uh out of its depth. Anyway, maybe we should read an Animorphs book. Maybe that should be the one of the book club. Oh, speaking of, we give a little shout out to book club as we conclude Story O'Clock.
Honestly, book club has been like popping off. There's so many references.
Can you do a little screen share? Do a little screen share for the class here. Sorry to make. And I know you're probably still looking at Animorph covers. If I know Kyle, he's like, that's enough of that, and he's still looking at it.
So there are 45 comments in here, just full. And then in the responses, I think we have 30 books with reasons why people like them. And then we don't have any multiple recommendations. I want to see if we got multiples, but
Yeah,
you got a lot of just like reasons to read in here. It's been incredible, the excitement around it.
that's really cool. I gotta pick up some of these books. I'm kind of in the same boat as Jeff. I'm about to finish the last book that's out for Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I'll probably need something new to read. So anyway, we had a new thread in the school group. You can tab over to it, called Book Club. And also, here's a page from Recession Quest out of nowhere. So as you can see, a very condensed little daily page here. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. We have the daily side quest. That's not filled in quite yet. We're gonna fill that in later. 3 seize the day tasks, just like the hero's journal, classic. And then we would never make something without a little place for gratitude in it. And so we got those 3 gratitudes. And concept here is in the top left corner. We have you, as in you, doing the actual, recession quest, and then sort of this imagination world, where we sort of just like Story O'Clock, we kind of see ourselves in our heroes and in the stories that we love. And Ryan, I love what he did with this. A very great callback to like the Blade Runner vibe. Use I think this is the struggle meal page, if I'm not mistaken. So ramen is a very classic, struggle meal. The cup of ramen, I should say. And I love that you has these tired eyes. We got that morning robe on. And look at this. We got another one. You could probably put this one together, but this is the show off your favorite mug and make your favorite hot drink quest. We got a little kitty cat in the top left. Ryan, of course, is no secret. He's a cat lover. So yeah, we got you making a little cup of coffee.
This is my favorite.
Yeah, I love that little toad guy. He's so so proper.
Yeah.
He's just we don't have a name for that toad guy. I want to hear some names in the chat. What should we name this toad? This little toad guy. If you guys come up with a good enough idea, it could become canon. I think Ryan probably has final say since he did create the guy, but
I will say I have a piece of canon that is mine and mine alone, and that is Corks McDurgle.
that's true.
If people are gonna be like, Kyle, what did you do at the Heroes Journal? And I go, I did one very important thing. Just one. I had one moment of pure bliss, and that was naming Corks McDurgle.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, here you are. This is oh, okay, we got Norbert, Juan, Mr. Bigglesworth. Okay. A little Austin Powers reference. Let's see what else. I like Norbert. I like Norbert because it's in all caps. The dragon is also adorable. I feel like the dragon is definitely a little bit overshadowed by the frog guy. Tea leaf. That is that's a great one. I like
Should
that.
just be Toad. Toad.
You know, I think his name should be
What?
Matcha.
A. That's good.
Yeah. Little matcha guy. He's green. He's drinking matcha. He's green, you know.
At least what it-
Yeah. Matcha.
Okay, we are short on time.
Yeah, we are. Sorry. Um You're right, no effects. Just because it's in all caps is not a good reason to choose Norbert. Doctor Doctor Norbert Tealeaf is pretty good too. He does seem like he's a doctor. He has that vibe about him that he's pretty he's educated, you know. He's erudite. He was
Mackenzie just did an absolute deep cut. That is a piece of memory that like you should be very proud of because I guess I talk about it a lot, but
yeah.
that is one of my other very specific in helps is that one scene. So Mackenzie, you made me feel very seen just now in this very moment. I feel very seen. So thank you.
Yeah. It's not often that Kyle makes specific like extraordinarily specific requests about the journal storylines, but when he does, they usually always make it into the journal and they're always hits.
Yeah. Well, I get weirdly stubborn on very specific things.
Yep.
You know what's one of the things that
I like Wart a lot.
Wart's good.
Yeah.
It's like Rick and Warty.
He's definitely a doctor or a lawyer. You know, he could be both. He's also a wizard. Don't forget that part.
Okay, it's brag o'clock time. It's time.
You're right.
If you're not bragging, you're doing the wrong thing.
All right. So, for those who might be new to this stream, or to those who might need a refresher, it's brag o'clock. That means for the next 5 or so minutes, that's right, you are going to throw away humility. Just wipe it away. You're going to stop playing small and you're going to pat yourself on the back publicly. You're going to type into the chat, press enter, and we're going to read it for you. And then everyone in this group is going to say, that's awesome. Congratulations. Kudos, whatever. Because we believe that you are doing great. And sometimes you got to hear yourself say it or watch yourself type it out and press enter and let other people read it for you to really get the sense that, maybe you're actually doing a better job than it feels like. Maybe you got more things in your life worth celebrating than it seems. So,
and you got to do what Jackson just did. If you want to, you can just copy and paste it if you're on YouTube.
Yeah.
You have to put, what's great about me.
That's rule number one. Before you throw in your brag, throw in, what's great about me? And then throw your brag on the end of it. The other rule is that no brag is too small. If you're a brag, maybe you, I don't know, got your PhD and got a job at NASA and you're on your way to the moon right now. Or maybe you just got out of bed this morning. Maybe you just made it through another week.
Those are equal in our minds. Those are equal brags.
Equal brags. It's an equal brag playing field. No brag is better than the other. It's not a competition. And so I say that to say, if you're thinking through your head, oh, I have nothing to brag about, then find something you're grateful for and brag about that because you should. Anyway, here we go. Starting to pile up. I'm gonna lose the chat here if I'm not careful.
Yeah, Ashley Park is first.
Okay. Ashley Park, how fitting. Ashley Park said, brag, after 6 weeks of recovery from my ankle surgery, I finally started walking today. Slowly and painfully, but happy to be on the next step of my recovery. That's incredible, Ashley. The human body is amazing. And I hope that you will keep us in the loop, and who knows, maybe a post here and there in the school group will go a long way because we're all rooting for you.
This guy said, what's great about me? I got nothing. But I can't remember this week, but we got through it. And that's what matters.
That's a prime example of a perfect brag. Okay. Melissa said, brag o'clock. Well, I'm gonna say I'm gonna add the preference here. You know what's so great about Melissa?
What's so great about Melissa?
Melissa said, I passed 2 years at my dream job and got to have a legit conversation with a 2-year-old that I've rocked to sleep when I first started.
Wow.
Got to have a legit conversation with a 2-year-old that I've rocked to sleep when I first started. That is very cool. I believe, Melissa, you are a teacher, right? Am I wrong about that? What do I think? I might be thinking of Mackenzie, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Melissa, I always thought you worked near or adjacent to a library. But you also read a bunch of books, so maybe that's why I think that.
That's this dream job you speak
Yeah.
of. If you're
Zach said, "You know what's great about me? I created a system with sticky notes for projects and chores. So when I can't be bothered to do the work I should be doing at doing, force myself to do sticky notes instead." That's a great way to like. That's the definition of you fall to you don't rise to the level of your goals, but you fall to your level of your systems. That's like the definition of that.
Love it. Nova Pack said, you know what's great about me? I chose to not go off on a friend, even though I was hurt, so I could wait until I felt like I could be heard more clearly. That is a great brag. Look at that.
I had a
Empathized, adult brain switching on, being sitting with your thoughts, not becoming your feelings. I mean, gosh, so many good things here, Nova.
I had a basketball coach in high school who said he said if we lose a game, your parents are not allowed to talk to me for 24 hours. He said because at the end of the day, like if we lost the game and they're mad you didn't play enough, it's like there's no way we're gonna have a healthy conversation if they're mad in the moment. So I thought that like I think that's like a very good it's application there, right? It's like know when you're gonna be able to have the best version of that conversation and have it then.
That is a very savvy, that's a very smart move as a coach.
Yeah.
Especially if your team is not that good. Okay, Juanita said, you know what's great about me? I changed my diet 3 weeks ago and have lost 12 pounds.
Wow.
Now, that is a brag. And that is something that's great about you, Juanita. And we are proud of you. Congratulations. That was all you. You did that.
Yeah. Akira said, you know what's great about me? I made it through the week. I made it through a long work week.
Hey.
Work weeks are long, and you did make it. Congratulations.
That again. Let's see.
So Zach is also right here. So Zach, I'll just read it because
we'll follow up.
Zach just aerated the entire backyard with a hand tool, implanted new grass seed instead of reading emails like I was supposed to be. Hey, sometimes you gotta touch grass. You don't get a very good time to use that phrase quite literally, and so I felt good.
That was good. All right. Hey, you know what's so great about Jackson? Jackson said, I'm hosting 4 additional 9-year-old boys tonight for my son's birthday party. That
is a lot.
That's a brave endeavor. I'm proud I got the house cleaned, but dreading the after cleanup. Calm before the storm. Light some sage. Prepare the space, because war is upon you. No, that's great. And what a gift it is to host a little birthday. That'll be fun.
If you think about it this way, all of them added up as 45 years old. So you're really just hanging out with one 45-year-old man.
Yeah. Just instead of them all being together in one big trench coat, they just haven't found the trench coat yet.
Yeah. They're pre-trench coat.
Pre-trench coat 45-year-old.
Lynn said, you know what's great about me? This week I managed to read 2 books that helped me focus on my computer work that I needed to get done. That's awesome. Sometimes reading books can take you away from your computer work, but this time they helped you, which is great.
Hey, you know why Jeff's so great, Kyle?
Let's hear it.
Well, he said, I sat outside in the sun on a lounge chair today after the busy part of the day, listening to an Audible story, Newtown, while eating ice cream. Huzzah. Man, sometimes life, it feels so complicated and like heavy. And then there's moments like Jeff just portrayed beautifully, I should say. You're just like,
that's like perfect life fan fiction.
That's what life is about right there. You are rich. I want you to know that. That's a great brag, Jeff. Yeah. Congratulations. I hope you get more moments like that.
Caitlin MCC said, it's great about me, but you know what's great about me? I crushed it on a job interview today. That's amazing. That's a good feeling. Honestly, that's such a good feeling. Because like you can go into a room, people don't know you, and you can like make a friend. That feels good. But getting someone to like you who like is inherently skeptical about you, chef's kiss.
Yeah. And they want to pay you. That's how much they like. They like you. I mean,
Yeah.
wow, that's cool. Queen said, in all caps, I might add, you know what's so great about me? I keep trying. Amen to that, Queen. I've applied to over 100 jobs, only got one interview so far, but I keep trying.
That's
That
amazing.
talk about
Resilience.
doing the thing. Talk about going on the quest, doing the hard thing. A lot of people are job hunting right now, Queen. It is tough out there. But your resilience is inspiring, and that is worth bragging about. Keep it going, keep us updated. Great brag.
Natasha said, "You know what's great about me? I actually slept under the sun. Slept under the sun like a lazy cat, and it's the most sun I've gotten this year. I'm not an outside person. I am also not an outside person, and that's fantastic. Congrats on cosplaying a cat this week.
Ooh, that's a great one. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Let's see. You know what's so great about David? David went to bingo night, bear bingo night again. I love it. That sounds like sounds like a fun time. Tell you what, any bingo night really, but a themed bingo night, that much better.
You know what's crazy? I can't even see that, Bragg. Good for you.
It's on Facebook. Maybe I don't know if you can't see Facebook.
You know what's so great about Mackenzie? They got all their grading done so they can enjoy the rest of their vacation. Made a live stream and made someone feel good about themselves today, aka Kyle.
That was a great brag.
Yeah, that was a great brag and timely.
Yeah. A little follow up on Melissa's job. She's a social worker, a parent educator. Part-time, Kyle, you were right. A part-time rural librarian. Very cool. Okay. Jim, sorry, I have to zoom out so far to see these comments. I think this is Julia, right? Am I pronouncing that right? I can't even. It's really for some reason. Sorry. You know what's so great about Julia? Julia said, I didn't have a day off for 14 days. Whoa. But I made bank, the big bucks. Bam, bam, getting paid. I'm thankful for financial provisions right now. No kidding. Good for you. That's got to feel good. Hard work. Hopefully, you get some time off this weekend or something. 14 days, no rest. That is a marathon.
I can imagine a Southern lawyer, like a Louisiana lawyer, saying financial provision.
Like a rural librarian.
I need my financial provisions in order to take this case.
That sounds like Dr. Norbert. Sorry. Oh man.
Sky does remember something that they did this week that they're proud of, which was they organized and cataloged their giant collection of Tentacle Kitty plushies. It took 3 days. That's awesome.
That's such a good brag. I want to screenshot that and put it in the brag o'clock thread on school. Is that everyone? You see any?
I gotta just copy in all the names.
Okay. We are past time. Wow. Brag o'clock went over, but you know what? That's okay.
Nick, what is the name of this process now called?
I heard that this wheel is here so forth. Here and so forth too shall be called the wheel of choosing.
Is the wheel of choosing.
Is that correct?
It is.
That's perfect.
I gotta make sure we don't have a duplicate though. Because there's one name. Yeah. Sorry, cool.
All right. So remind us again, what is this? What are the new rules around this before you spin?
So if it lands on you and you're the name that it lands on, you will win a free product from the Heroes Journal. But you are also bestowed the pleasure, the opportunity, the honor of posting the Brag O'Clock thread in school next Friday.
Yes.
If you're not in school, you will have to make an account. And you will have to do this is very serious. But also because we said if you're not in school, if you're not where the core community is, do you really deserve a free journal? Obviously you do. But come on.
Pretty good.
Anyways,
Not so free anymore, is it? Well, that's all right.
By the way, I made it spin slower.
Ooh.
Wow.
What? Yeah. Look at
Zach!
that. Zach V, I guess. You are the winner of Regional Friday. I believe you are here in the chat, but you got to throw something in the chat so we know you are here. And while we're waiting on you to comment, I feel like we should share Ashley Cole's brag o'clock.
Ashley Park.
Sorry, no. Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry.
No, there's a name flipping back and forth, but I believe Ashley Park is the correct name.
Oh, I see. On school, it's Ashley Cole, so my mistake. But anyway, I just wanted to highlight Ashley because she did an incredible job being the brag bearer. Making the post this week in school. Obviously, a lot of people went in there, commented on it. Fantastic work, Ashley, setting the bar high. So this is what you can expect. This is your responsibility, Zach. It's not for the faint of heart. So next Friday, set a reminder in the morning, the afternoon, to post the brag bearers call post. And you can freestyle it, do whatever you want with it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And if you haven't joined school, it's easy to do. Ain't that right, Kyle?
It's very easy to do.
That's correct.
Oh,
Did you
Zach's here.
Support? Okay, there we go. Yeah, we're good.
We're good. Last week I didn't do the bit. I didn't do it.
Wow.
I mean, I kind of did. I said the words, but I unbitified it before I did it. There's an earnestness behind it.
Okay.
Typically I love responsibilities. We love it. Hey Zach, you can make yourself a little sticky note for it.
Hey.
Yeah.
Nice.
No grass in school though. Anyways, I usually bitify it, but I'm trying to be earnest. I'm trying to be a little bit more earnest these days. But the most important thing is that this weekend,